Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Soulful Abundance with Chris Williams. I'm Chris Williams, and I am so excited to have Carey Peters here with us today, talking about all things, whether you want to talk about scaling or certification or hearing what she's done since she grew HCI, Health Coach Institute, which I actually got to meet Carey back in 2017. Is that right? Yes. Oh my God. And got my first coaching certification from HCI and learned so much from Carey. And so it's just truly my honor and my pleasure to have you here, Carey, to share all of the things that have happened since you're doing something different now.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I'm getting a little choked up because, I never in my wildest dreams thought I would ever create something like HCI. Never was on my radar. Didn't think I could even I didn't ever thought I could have a business at all, let alone like this big. And to think about you and all the people now you're impacting, I
Yeah.
just,
Wow.
yeah, I'm like, oh, I can't. My greatest I don't know. Aside from my family and my
Hmm.
friends, one of my greatest professional joys is the impact that HC had on so many people
Yeah. Yeah.
that I'll
Truly.
never even know really the full extent of that.
Totally. Yeah.
But it just makes me so happy. So
Yeah,
thank
and
you for
I'm
sharing that.
still friends with people that I met back then. Again, the ripples happen in so many different ways, right? Lauren Sheeran is a great friend of mine. She and I have stayed in touch over the years. I go in and teach in her program. She comes in and she shares inside of my community. Betty Barnett is actually a mindset coach inside of my Activate Abundance Academy. It's just so cool, the community that you created, truly from your
We
heart.
From our heart, I think first of all, I think we were incredibly lucky, right? Number
Mhm.
one. But number two, it genuinely was 100% from our heart. It was the
Mhm.
love of the students that drove us from second one. Even the logo for HCI used to be interlocking hearts.
Mhm.
And truthfully, yes, we were trying to help people like live their dreams and become coaches, but underneath all of that, what we believed is that if we can help people fall in love with themselves
Mhm.
and with others, miracles can unfold from there.
Yeah.
And so that's what drove everything. And we are the students. Like we're the same. We're in the same, we're
Mhm.
not, you know, people tend to like put you on a pedestal, when you're the face and you're on the stage and whatever, even though we both would say, no, we like need coaching just as much as that.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
no, we're just like you know what I mean? That's why we're here.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I don't know. I am, it's been maybe 15 months since I left HCI. So any talk of it just really makes my heart smile. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that, being a part of your community and being able to call yourself a heart warrior, right? You guys coined that term to be heart warriors,
Yeah.
really helped me see my spot in wanting to grow a heart-led business.
Mm.
And, that's a space that I think you guys were absolutely amazing pioneers for
Thank
to,
you.
to help us with that.
I just believe that if you don't absolutely love your clients and customers with all of your
Hmm.
heart, something is missing.
Hmm.
Something is missing.
Yeah.
And that was what was a huge value for the two of us. And we felt like, I know, people coming in and spending so much time with us on video. Not everybody's going to love me, not everybody's going to love Stacy, but the goal was, can everybody come here and feel like they belong and feel like they're loved, if by
Hmm.
us at least, if not the whole
Yeah.
team,
Yeah.
and feel excited about more possibility for themselves than they
Mm.
saw previously.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I could say a million ways that I would improve this and change that. And, you know,
Yeah.
um, and if I started, a new school today, oh my gosh, I mean, I've just evolved so much as a coach. Things have shifted and changed so much that
Hmm.
um, there are some things that would still be anchor points, but then
Hmm.
others would be just like the next evolution of
Yeah.
everything that we taught there.
Yeah. Oh, I love that you talk about evolution because I don't think that entrepreneurship ever stays the same either,
Mm-mm.
right?
No.
Coaching shifts and changes, the consumer market and the buyer market shifts and changes. we shift and change, we grow, we evolve and see new things in our clients. And yeah, I love evolution is such a great word instead of like looking at it from the perspective of, well, I'm not going to do that again. It's like, well, no, actually, of course, we're not going to do it again. We're not the same people. We're, completely different. We've got different experiences, just like transformational coaching,
Yeah.
creates that beautiful pathway. So speaking
Mhm.
of evolution, what are you doing today? Let's like give people
Well,
a behind the scenes. What is Carey Peters doing today?
oh well, I went to I told after I left HCI, I really did go dark on
Yeah,
social. Like not a post, nowhere, nothing. And
yeah.
part of the reason for that is because it wasn't like a joyful goodbye. It was actually
Hmm.
really difficult. There was um we were so, I feel very proud that HCI was acquired. It's 18% of companies that are ever successfully acquired or
Wow.
sold.
Wow.
18%. Like that's not, and women owned, take that number down.
Wow.
And by
Yeah.
the way, it wasn't just us. It was us and four other founders who were male. So,
Wow.
and an investor who was a man. So it wasn't like a fully woman-owned business, but
Right.
still, I was incredibly proud of that exit.
Hmm.
However, there just were a lot of cultural mismatches, which happens often after
Mm-hmm.
acquisitions, where
Mm-hmm.
the buying company is trying to integrate or the with the seller and there's culture challenges and there's incentive mismatch and there's all kinds of things that can go awry and often do. And usually it's like 70% of founders that end up leaving or being forced out, or, it's a smaller number of founders that end up staying on with the business. I think what was hard for me is I could see the writing on the wall that it was not a fit.
Yeah.
And I could see that very early on,
Mm-hmm.
for a number of reasons, and perhaps they did as well. But if I could, I loved HCI so much that it was like, I just couldn't walk away. I could, even though I knew like I'm gonna have to walk away. There's no future
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
um I basically just kind of fought through my way through the the difficulty of that time.
Sure.
And then when I left, it was a lot of grief for me.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot about so many things. But mostly it was the love of the students. That was the thing that always had me there, that had me
Mm.
never want to leave, that, still would drive me to go. But the whole, for us to go, well, here's how I'm coaching now, and let's put this into a training, and this is the school that should exist. And,
Yeah.
when do you need a face of a school more than now?
Yeah. Yeah.
When
Totally.
trust is at its all-time
Yes.
low.
Yep.
And the whole hypothesis of HCI was if we put people in front of who reflect our audience, who are our audience, Stacy and I
Yep.
are the students,
Yeah. Yeah.
then and there's a connection there and a feeling of trust, know, like, and trust.
Yep. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is still 1,000% true today. But when I think about, believe me, I have a whole school sketched out. I know exactly what it
Good.
should be
I
and
want to
how
be
it would
on that
go.
new. I want to be on that newsletter. Not
Oh
like I
my
need
God.
another certification, but
Yes. No, exactly what I would teach. The whole thing. Because that's my particular genius is all of a sudden it comes and it goes onto paper. But I started working with a coach after who's a dear friend of Stacy's, and we
Mhm.
went to years past. His name is Brian Franklin, and he just asked me a great question. It was like, you just got divorced
Mhm.
essentially from
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
spouse of many
Yeah.
years, or your baby, if you can. Um, do you really want to get married for the next 5 to 7 years of your life? Is that
Yeah.
really what you want to be doing right now? And I thought that was a very valid question. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let me hold.
Mhm.
Let me create some space. I mean, I've been hustling as an entrepreneur for 20 years, and prior to that, I was hustling as a professional actor. I have
Yes.
never in my life had time where I could be like, I'm going to read a book this morning. Like that just
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
wasn't my life, right? Especially after I had my daughter.
Yeah.
Then it was
Yeah.
just work, kid, work, kid, work, kid. That's all it was. So I was like, this is a good opportunity to have a life.
Yeah. Like, surprise.
Oh, this is what's that like? I'm gonna play the piano. I played the piano when I was younger. I'm gonna start to play. I'm gonna meet a friend. I'm gonna walk on the
Start
beach.
acting again, maybe. You could
Yeah,
look at the
well,
local
yes, funny you say
community.
that. Funny you
Yeah.
say that. Yes, I was just I've been seeing a bunch of theater and thinking about that and meeting a lot of the people that I worked with here in Chicago are still here, actually.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, thinking that would be so wonderful. So there's, and on top, this also happened when I turned 50.
Hmm.
And every age is like brings its questions about what am I
Yeah.
doing with life. But for me, 50
Totally.
really did feel like a significant milestone. Was
Mhm.
like, oh, and on top of that, menopause,
Oh,
where
yeah. Oh
you
God,
have the,
that's a whole
okay,
nother
right?
can of worms. Oh
Oh
my
my God.
God.
Right? Where you have the experience of like, oh, I understand. You know how they say the veil comes down,
Hmm.
of like you biologically had to care about things and people
Yes.
before when you had
Yes.
hormones.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
when you don't, you're like, oh my God, it is the most kind of amazing and liberating feeling to not care.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yes.
So we have
Absolutely.
leaving HCI, turning 50, menopause coming on, and then my mother passed.
Oh,
And she was sick
all
with
that today.
Alzheimer's for years. I am, thank you. I'm
Sorry.
still devastated over that loss for a million reasons. Um, but to me, this was all like, okay, this is not a time for rash. I'm gonna go
Decisions.
build a big business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a
Yeah.
time for like, you know, I have a very strong connection to my gut. I do a lot of automatic writing and
Mm.
I allow myself to kind of like be told what's supposed to be happening right now. And I
Yeah.
just keep saying
Yeah.
like
Just hold.
just
Just hold.
hold. They're just showing honestly, they're showing me like lights, like theater
Mm.
marquee lights.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
it's gonna be showtime, but it's not showtime.
Yeah. Yeah.
So right now what I want you to do is like slower pace. So what I've been doing is private coaching only. And I can tell you what a joy. That's how I started.
Yeah.
It's such a joy because I work with a small number of people and we get to go a million miles deep.
Mm.
And there is something glorious about holding the space for 7,000 students
Hmm.
and like feeling all of us in the HCI love bubble is like
Hmm.
amazing. And for right now, holding a group energy is not the space at the
Yeah.
moment. It's
Yeah.
it's the one-to-one deep kind of work where I can really use my expertise and experience. I mean, I've been a solo entrepreneur. I've had business partnerships forever. We've built from nothing to millions of dollars to then many millions to 40 million to
Yes.
over $220 million generated
Ooh,
over
yeah.
time. Like we've had teams of 0 to 200. We've had,
Wow.
I've been in all different kinds of leadership roles, whether it's a CEO or a product, whatever, or the face of the
Hmm.
brand and a board member. I'm like, we've had capital raises and exits and acquisitions. It's just been like a very unusual journey through entrepreneurship for, I guess, what I would say the typical coach.
Hmm.
Usually you are coaching one-on-one or you create some kind of group program and that's
Right.
what it is.
Yep.
This was like, uh, you know, crazy. Just like oh my God, like this
You're
is
like, it
the
just blasted off, and you're
y-
like, what is happening? I'm sure.
totally, it's the MBA that I never got.
Yeah.
It's the MBA that I never got. And so for the people I work with primarily are founders between $1 million and $10 million.
Hmm.
And they either have a coaching company or they want to, and they want to take their methodology and turn it into a certification.
Beautiful.
And essentially, there are predictable challenges on the
Hmm.
road from 1 million to five, and on the road from five to 10, and on the road from 10 to that founders are going to run into, and I can provide a lot of value. I mean, my goal with every client is how is every conversation we're having resulting in multi-million dollars of revenue for you? And it's
Amazing.
that. Yeah, like if that's not what it is, then it's not the right fit. And that's not to say that every session is just about business and money, because as you
Right.
know, that's only
Yeah.
really one
Yeah.
component.
Mm-hmm.
So much of it is also about identity and
Yep.
mindset and
Mm-hmm.
leadership and understanding how to work with the team versus the team running you, how you
Yep.
are
Yep.
the leader, even when you don't feel confident. Right. So there's,
Yeah.
and it's really, it's joyful. I meet with clients twice a month. They're 90-minute sessions. There's no, in coaching,
Yeah.
it's very like private coaching is not scalable. And so
Mm-hmm.
you have to be very stingy with it. Just do half-hour sessions and right. But this is like, no, we got 90 minutes and we are
Yeah.
like going
Let's go
over
deep.
everything.
Yeah.
And there's no sense of like scarcity in it. There's no sense, there's just plenty of breathing room and
Mm-hmm.
time. Clients
Mm-hmm.
voice text me between set. Like there's no, it's just a very different model that I learned from Brian, by the way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I've really been enjoying it. And in the meantime, we'll see what the universe has in store while I'm doing this. But the reality is, coaching is such a wonderful business because I have Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
I have a virtual assistant for a few things,
Yeah.
but that's it.
I know, right? We have a phone. We've got, I mean, I honestly think that in today's, market where we are right now, it is the best time to be a coach. I mean, when else in the history have we been able to open up a business with a Zoom account and our telephone? I mean, like,
It's crazy. It's
wow.
crazy. But I do think for coaches today, and I'm curious what your take on this is
Yeah.
too, because
Yeah.
of course we're moving into the age of AI, which is
Yep.
like, what a media cluster around this technology that's just
Yeah.
whipping everybody around
I
emotionally
know.
every
I
day.
know. I know.
Um, so I think we have this going on, but I'm really inspired by a book called Same as Ever by Morgan
Hmm.
Housel. And that is like, no matter how much is changing around you, there are some things that never change.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah.
think about that in relation to coaching, I think a couple things that stay the same is that coaches have to have some kind of niche or specialization.
Yeah.
It just,
Absolutely.
if I have known a couple unicorn coaches, and maybe you have as well, who are like, I'm a life coach with no specialization whatsoever. And clients just come out of the
Yeah.
woodwork and they're great. I have definitely
I
seen
have,
that.
yeah, I have seen that very rarely. Like I
Very
honestly
rarely.
have to go look for it. I can't like think off the top of my head who I would think that is.
I'm thinking of a few people, and in particular, there have been health coaches, they've been life coaches, and it's just sort of like, well, I can't account for that. I mean, but
Yeah.
by and large, I think the tighter the specialization, the more ability you're going to have to make a great living and be in demand as a
Yep.
coach,
Yep.
especially in health, because there's
Hmm.
so many other ways for people to get support.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I think that's going to be huge. I think transformational skills, in my new coaching school. I mean, I'll say something radical. Coaching is not enough as a modality. It just isn't because it's cognitive primarily.
Hmm. Hmm.
And the things that are driving us are happening in the limbic system and the amygdala.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But
Yes.
we have to tread lightly because there's also trauma stored in there.
Exactly.
So like
Exactly.
there has to be a methodology that can help address what's happening in the limbic system and the amygdala in a way that's safe. And of
Yep.
course, in a way where you can escalate if somebody has an issue that like, no, you need
Right.
a licensed therapist, and by all
Yeah.
means, I'm going to refer you to one. Um, but there has to be, I personally love emotional brain training. I think it's one of the most phenomenal. I
Mm.
use it with clients all the time. It's absolutely incredible. Absolutely. There's
Mm.
nothing better in my experience for rewiring the things that are keeping people stuck.
Oh, well, I'm gonna
Um,
have to check that out.
it's
Emotional brain
amazing.
training. Who
It's
created
amazing.
that?
Dr. Laurel Mellon, Laurel, Mellon
Mhm.
is Mellin. And they did start a coach certification that I've taken their level one and then
Mhm.
retook a bit of it.
Mhm.
It's phenomenal. And it goes with coaching like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, And then third, I think there's just, intuition for me. I
Mhm.
don't I don't come forward and lead with it, but the fact is before every client session, I'm getting downloads about what's
Yeah.
going on with that client
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
their permission,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
their permission.
Hmm.
And of course, we're getting to the point where they start the session and go, okay, what'd they say today?
Hmm.
Okay, well, here we are. Here's what we need to hear. Here's what I was shown.
Yeah.
And that there's a just, and then finally, I think for when it comes to coaching skill, there has to be like a healthy respect for divine timing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Coaching is wonderful. You should, yes, what is the life I want to create? Yes, how can I make a more, yes, how can I go after my dreams? And they always there's the saying of if you want to make God laugh, make plans.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I think coaching leads us to believe like we're completely in control.
Hmm.
Listen, I have no idea what this world is or how it works, and I don't pretend to know. I just don't think, and I could be 100% wrong, but I don't think we're have that much control.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
actually, it was
Yeah.
having my daughter that taught me that I was suspecting at 40, I was like, I feel weird. I can't walk upstairs without breathing like heavy. I'm like, oh my God, is it possible that I'm pregnant? Like that, how is this possible? Like it wasn't
Yeah.
trying,
Yeah.
it was horribly unfair to
Hmm.
people who are trying, like
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking this can't possibly be. And I was absolutely petrified. And I remember I was in LA. I was driving to the airport to fly to Chicago to see my husband, where I was going to have to be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I
We
don't
need
know
to
what's
have a
going on. We
conversation.
need to have a talk. And I remember I'm like freaking out in the car. I'm sniffling. And I heard a voice in my ear, literally clear as day. And it said, surrender.
Oh.
And I was like, and I knew in that moment I was pregnant. And that was my first lesson in motherhood, which is really a lesson in life, which is you are not in control
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
time. Does that mean you never go for what you want? No. But there are other forces at work.
Hmm.
One of my mentors who I adore, her name is Colette Baron Reed, and
Ah, yes.
yeah, she's the best. I absolutely love her. She will always say, we go for what we want and we manifest what we want and we meet life on life's terms.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh. I totally, absolutely 1000% believe in that.
Yeah,
Absolutely. It's kind of like, I had to take my hand off I think about it as when I was building and growing my business, you know, it's like you point the car in the right direction, but you got to take your hand, loosely hold the
loosely.
wheel. The
Yeah.
death grip does not work. Like the death grip on the steering wheel of like, no, we're going this way. I don't want to make it happen. It's like, no, like this is the way that I'm going. This is where I want to go. And
Yeah.
there are probably going to be some pivots and some turns on the way to get there. And that actually, when I saw it from the perspective of, and my husband and I, we love to hike, so we're actually going to be going to the mountains tonight. And I think about when we're on a hike. We know that we want to get to the top, but sometimes you're going down the mountain in order, or going around it in order to get back up, or you're taking
Right.
steps down. Like I really see that as being, part of the business journey or life journey of where you're on the path, but you don't really see that you're going to have to go down sometimes. You're going to have to take a right turn, or you're going to have to cross over this giant muddy puddle, and yet we just are like, okay, like I'm going to go, but trust that
Yeah.
I'm going to get there.
I think the tough side of coaching is thinking, I had just success that I never expected in my late 30s. And I was like, I have figured life out. I have figured it out. Look at me with my money and my business and my home and my fiance and my like what a fairy tale dream. And then the moment in the car
Yeah.
where the voice came and then after that literally nothing went the way that I planned. Nothing. Now, did a
Hmm.
lot of great things happen? Yes, for sure. Was it the way that I wanted it and that I intended it? No.
Hmm. Hmm.
No,
Hmm.
but it was the greatest lesson of like I had this arrogance. I did where I thought like I've cracked the code on life. and
Yeah.
look at me and how powerful I am. And I mean,
Well, and you were though. Like we don't want to take that away from you
yes,
either,
yeah,
because
yes,
and you were
to a
impacting a
degree.
lot of people.
Yes, I agree with all of that. And
Hmm.
also, there are times where I'm like, there is a video game quality to this life. There were certainly ways where Stacy and I, we just got, any business owner who, what was that show? How I Built This with Guy Raz on
Oh,
it's an NPR podcast.
I
And
love NPR. Yes.
I'm pretty sure he asked at the end, how much did luck play a part in your success? And the entrepreneurs were like, not at all. And like, no, you're delusional. Like
Yeah.
luck, of course, played. This could go any number of, it could have been any other outcome than what the
Yeah.
outcome was. So I
Yeah.
just, to me, it brought in this sort of like healthy respect for one, yes, you can own your gifts and you can own your accomplishments and you can make goals and go after them and be bold and be audacious and do things you never thought you could. And there's also, God knows what,
Yeah.
pardon the pun,
Yeah. Yeah.
moving pieces around the chessboard that you don't necessarily know or
See.
have
Yep.
control over,
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Yeah. I
So I think
completely
when I
agree.
think about coaches, what they have to be able to do is they're addressing all these components, the cognitive, the emotional, the
Yep.
intuition, the spiritual component. And I feel like the people who can do that exceptionally well, then, things start building just from referrals,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm.
Because people go, oh, I
Yeah.
had an absolutely amazing, so it was one conversation with you.
Yeah.
And what I was struggling with is cracked open.
Yeah.
So if you have a strong specialization and you have strong skills, you're in a much better place. Well, then you do have to have some way to market yourself. But I
Yeah.
think in a future where everything is so digital, like, well, what becomes a premium is face-to-face relationships.
Exactly. I'm so glad that you brought it back to, the digital generation or what we're going into, because I mean, at least I'm seeing so much value with face to face, also
Yeah.
with one to one. I'm seeing, I mean, I still have people coming into my group programs, but I also have people that are like, I really just want, you know, a month with you to like dial this in, or I want a VIP day with you for this, or, in-person retreats. I've been running in-person retreats for 8 years now, and it's so much fun. Like the transformation that can happen in the course of 3 to 4 days, being in person with people, it just seems like that is something that people are craving to know that there's a real person on the other side of it, and not just this, like you said earlier, this lack of trust where we're not really even sure, this artist, the singer isn't actually even a real person, or this influencer who's talking about something is just an AI generated image. And,
Ugh.
I even, I shared a little bit earlier, my son is a graphic designer, and so he helps with some videography for me. And I'm like, no, we're not going to do AI generated. We're just not doing that. Like, we're going to do real people, real me, like real B-roll. Like, it's all going to be, real. Not that there's not a place for AI. I love it for ideas and I love it for brainstorming and things like that. But I think that this personalization and intimacy is going to be so important.
I agree. I mean, when you call like any place where you have to call and there's a customer service
Hmm.
and a human picks up the phone, you're literally like, your head blows off your body. You're like, oh my God,
Right,
I am
right.
so grateful to talk to a human. This is
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Right. I mean, we got my husband actually, he works for Tempur-Pedic and Sealy Mattress. So he's in sales on that side, product sales. And he actually he's reading this book called oh my gosh, what's it called now? Unsomething Hospitality. It's almost like ridiculous hospitality, or and he's reading it and he's actually teaching it to his stores, because it's really about how are you going over and above in your customer relations and actually serving your people. And we were sitting there last weekend because we had to have our whole entire air conditioner replaced.
Oh,
And the guy was running late. He actually picked up the phone and called my husband. He said, I'm running late. I'm going to be, blah, blah, blah. And my husband's like, okay, great. And then like they personally reached out to him again, a real person, like, how was the service? Is everything like it was real people? It wasn't just like an email saying, take the survey and let us know how we did. And he was so impressed that he actually had a real person reaching out and creating that connection. And it just really, and we started talking about that, and how important it is for me when I bring somebody new on that they get a real handwritten card from me and a gift box, and that even though they're working with me, that they hear from me like, hey, how are you? Like, is everything going okay? Even if they're in a group program, they're still gonna, get a voice message from me or a text message from me because I want them to know that I see them and I hear them, and I think that level of care
Matters.
matters hugely,
Yeah.
hugely.
And certainly if you're a big organization, that's harder
Yeah.
to achieve, but not impossible. And
No.
especially when you think about what is, if you think about an HCI, for example, your lifetime value of that student is really important. And how
Absolutely.
much likely are they going to be to stay with you? And lifetime value actually is shockingly low,
Mm,
meaning very few people after certification programs will go on to do additional trainings because they think I need to make
I
what I
did it.
just invested work.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
need to make that work before I need, well, but the reality is they need help for 3 years,
Exactly.
for sure. Like
Yeah,
three
for
years,
sure. Absolutely.
right?
1000%.
So it's very hard, but what is the likelihood? Are they more likely when they have a person reaching out to them
Hmm.
to go, oh my God, okay, I care.
Yeah.
It's not easy to scale, but there are ways, I think, to do it where you make people feel special. But if I'm an
Yeah.
individual coach trying to build a six-figure business today, and I have a super tight specialization, and
Mhm.
I've got great skills, and I focus on relationship marketing, which is going out
Yep.
and meeting people,
Yep.
you know what I mean? And then
Yep.
I can create live experiences, even if it's just like a dinner.
Mhm.
Maybe it's intimidating to be like, I don't know if I can do a retreat, but I could host a lunch or I
Yeah.
could host a, house party or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Totally.
when you start to put those pieces together, now you're really arming yourself for success in what our world is kind of evolving into.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we were, before we went live, we were talking about, a colleague of yours and my coach, Kelly Roach, and I just went to her event for her brand new book for the Miracle Hour in Fort
I
Lauderdale a
read
couple
it.
weeks ago. It's amazing, isn't it? Like so
It
good.
could have been a one page.
I know.
Take an hour to call people every day. That
I
is the
know,
book.
right? And yet people still don't do it, which is mind-boggling. I'm like, wait, this is so awesome. I mean, she started teaching us this back in 2023, and I'm like,
It's
yes, oh
great.
my
It's
God.
absolutely great. It should be required reading
It should,
and it should be
absolutely.
required action. That is what it takes. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But the in person, like I went there on purpose because I wanted to get in the room and be
Right.
in person, right? And the getting in the rooms, I think is important. I know it's part of my philosophy. I love to get in rooms. I love to be in I try to get to at least one in person something a quarter,
Yeah.
even if it means traveling, because I always walk away with it with a new connection or a new friend or, a new insight. And it's always been beneficial. And then when I look back, on even hosting things in person, like I just now decided that I was going to like host a local meetup with Entreprenista, and
Mm.
I'm like, I used to do these all the time. Like, why did I stop doing them? Because when I look back, when I would just even like having a meetup account or something, I always walked away with a connection, a client, colleague, something. And
And
I'm
you
so
just
glad
feel
that we're getting
good.
back to this. It's fun.
You feel good. Like, oh, the
Yeah.
connection feels good. And
Yeah.
that's, I
Yeah.
think, what's so important. Our clients want that.
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
want connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that the live events for HCI for me were peak. Like that
Yeah.
was 100% the full embodiment of everything about the
Yep.
brand.
Yep.
And we literally called it the love bubble because
Hmm.
the vibe and feeling of like joy, sure, there's a lot of fear when we're pushing you to build a business and
Hmm.
you're
Hmm.
exploring things in your life that are challenging. Like,
Yeah.
but it all, like when people are working on themselves together, there's such a connection, such a joy.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think about, and I went to multiple events too. Those were so fun. Actually, I met again, like I got to meet Lauren. We roomed together. I met Sarah Cannell, who was my book coach, who helped me write the book that we
She
launched
lives
back in
here in
August. Yeah, she
Chicago.
lives in Chicago. I
She's
know.
amazing.
October. I'll be there in October. I'm like, I put me on the list. I will be there. All of those amazing friendships, and those got closer because you gave us the opportunity to be in the room. I
You
don't think
know,
we would have had that experience if it was just virtually.
right. To me, that just is like legacy. It's really
Mhm.
exciting. But if I'm a coach who is just trying to get to my first six figures, there
Yeah.
are simple ways that I'm
Yeah.
sure you teach
Oh, totally.
to create those community experiences where you can have that kind of connection and your clients
Yes.
get excited. And yeah, I mean, I don't know because I don't know the future. But
Yeah.
I suspect if I think about myself and what I like, I really value a person.
Mhm. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
tried to learn the piano with an online course, like relearn, like get my fingers back going again.
You did.
And I was like, I can't, this is not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
First of all, I'm not practicing regularly because
Yeah.
sure, there's a reminder on my phone, but I can turn it
Mhm.
off,
Mhm.
whatever to that reminder.
Yep.
There's no like particular goal to
Yep.
master a particular piece, and I
Yeah.
don't have somebody waiting for me going,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
how was the practice schedule this week? And let's
Yep.
see. And
Yep.
like I just was like, I give up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not gonna
Yeah.
cut it.
I'm so
And I
glad you said that because I told my husband, I'm like, that's it. I just invested in a past client of mine. She's been with me for like 5 years, but she just started like this strength training program virtually. And I got my butt up at 5 a.m. this morning for the 6 a.m. class. And I am like so glad I did. And it's like I have to be there. Like Mondays and Thursdays, I have to be there.
when
And
it's timed and somebody's waiting,
yes, yes, I am there. And for the past year I've been saying, okay, I'm going to get to the YMCA. I'll go to the gym with my husband. I never go.
I'm
I'm like,
not gonna
never
go.
go.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
like,
go.
enough. I'm like,
Yeah.
no. I'm now gonna like show up have and it was funny because I'm like, all right, I want to join. And she says, you have to show up. I'm like, I know, that's why I want to join. I'm like, I will
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah. Now, I would just say, for me, in terms of AI, I use it as a thought partner a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
Or if there's
totally.
some like legal thing going on, I'll be like, well,
Hmm.
here's this document and here's that. And what do I
Yeah,
need to look at? And what's the question?
yeah,
And I find that very valuable. I use
absolutely.
it to help with like client issues too. Like so and
Hmm.
so's got this going on. Here's this thing. Give me five angles on how to think
Yeah,
about this or how to, but so
totally.
I find it valuable. It's just the human element, and we can see people are like pushing against
Yeah, yeah,
because I mean, we've had more tech than ever. Are we happier than ever? I don't think so.
yeah,
I don't think
exactly.
so.
Yeah. Again,
So,
I love it for, the extra things that it can do that frees up some of my time. And I love it for the brainstorming and the ideas too. But you know what? Sometimes it gets it wrong. I'm
oh,
like, wait a
plenty,
minute. Like,
plenty.
first of all, those numbers don't add up. So I know that you don't know how to add. Second of all,
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that's not it at all. And I know that. So
Right,
I'm like,
right,
okay, wait.
right. And sometimes I will say sometimes copy can be like shockingly good, and then
Yeah,
other times it's so bad.
it
And if
is.
I'm
Yes.
reviewing copy for my clients,
Yeah.
you can hear an AI copy in a second. I
Yeah.
actually was looking back at some of my old emails from my personal email list, and I saw one where I used some of it, and I was like, no, I love it for the thought partnership,
Yes.
but it's got to be my voice or.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I worked for a couple years with a copywriter, um, and she knew my voice very, very well. And we put things together for, our emails and everything. And it's so funny because I'm going back to those. Like, I want those because those were the ones that were written together and with real person.
Well, I heard an artist, I think it was it Rick Rubin who was talking about AI and he said, I think, or maybe was it Judd Apatow, one of the two, or maybe they both said the same thing, that they feel like AI doesn't have a point of view,
Mm-hmm.
but a person does. And
Mm.
when you can take, it's like as an artist, which I consider myself primarily,
Yeah.
you're taking a feeling, some kind of hard to describe, ineffable sort of feeling, and you're impressing it through a medium.
Mm-hmm.
And whether that's email or a video that you made or a
Yeah.
web page or a program branding or whatever, and it's having an emotional impact on the other side.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
is the thing that is going to equal conversion,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So, but AI is not going to come up with that unique point of view. It doesn't have the emotional resonance that
Yep.
infuses into
Yep.
the thing that comes out on the other side and hits people in the
Yeah. Right.
heart or the gut or
Yeah.
the,
Mhm.
and so I think that's the thing to keep in mind is you're the coach, like the value of that, whether you think of yourself as an artist or not, you
Mhm.
are transmitting an energetic of
Yeah.
some sort.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's extraordinarily valuable.
Hmm. I love that. I mean, we're going to triple click on that one. It's true. It's absolutely true. Because
Right.
when we've got our energy and our words and our thoughts behind it, there is absolutely an energy there.
Look at a coaching school or look at somebody who's teaching business. You can go onto ChatGPT or Claude right now and
Yep.
say, write me the curriculum for a coaching
Yep.
school. It's happening in 30 seconds.
Right.
Everybody can do that and they will. And it
Yeah.
will all sound the same. And what
Yep.
does it matter? What does it
Yeah.
matter?
Yeah.
And if you're a coach training school, for example, well, now you really have no identity. So when
Hmm.
leads are calling, now you're fighting on price to sell
Right.
on price.
So what do you do? I mean, so this is interesting because you are helping people create certifications.
Right.
So, how are you helping them navigate that?
You are tripling down on, first of all, it's usually founders that are doing it. So they are the face,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's not like I did talk with an institution, but they still have a face. So there's still an energy that you can take and put through their offering.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I've actually talked to from a coaching perspective or worked with a school that has no face or a training that has no face at all.
Right.
So when I am working with someone, well, like an example is Sunny Smith, amazing coach. She has a company called Empowering Women Physicians. It is a
Mm.
coaching program for women physicians
Yeah.
to heal from burnout. And
Yeah.
she has like clinical studies on the efficacy of this program. It's amazing. And of course, a
Oh,
lot of her graduates were saying, hey, can you teach me how to coach? Like, where can I go
yeah.
learn how to coach? And because she's like, should I create a certification? I'm like, I think so.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's do that.
They're asking
Um,
for it.
yeah. So in helping her put that together, you keep circling. First of all, she already has a brand that's completely infused with her ethos
Hmm.
and her, right? So with
Yeah.
the certification is keep pulling that in, pulling the anchoring in to the uniqueness, the specialness, the
Mhm.
her frameworks, her everything that was already
Yeah.
in the coaching program. Because, part of
The
that is like
methodology. Yeah.
yeah, part of it is you have to meet certain requirements for the National Board of Health and Wellness Coaches or ICF or whatever, but that
Right.
can dilute the uniqueness
Hmm.
of what she's doing. Like, you have to meet their requirements, but
Hmm.
you don't want it to dilute that uniqueness. So it's a constant hold and focus on as we're creating this lesson and that lesson, whatever. But what is the special thing about your program? That's why they love you. So you don't
Yeah.
take it out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how we really helped structure everything for her to create an amazing program, to have the simplest first launch. It was almost $1 million launch.
Wow.
Amazing. But
Amazing.
because she had the people in front of her,
Yeah. Yeah.
she has a
Had
super tight niche, she
hmm.
has a premium pricing.
Hmm.
So she had all these components in place.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. And she was able to use, again, her methodology to back it up versus
absolutely.
my version of this is. what can it
And
mean not
that's
to
what made
know
it
what it's going to
special.
look like?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if you look at National Board or ICF, it's like okay, elements of rapport or
Hmm.
motivational interviewing. I mean, yes, okay, fine, motivational interviewing, but what's the point of view about that? And if
Yeah.
it isn't unique and original and exciting, it's boring. And then
Mm.
if it's boring, your audience is like their day-to-day lives are already hard
Hmm.
and boring and overwhelming and feeling dull and feeling they're
Hmm.
coming to coaching because they want to feel alive.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so to me, it's like the then you can take the point of view, the unique point of view, and you apply it. There's a lens. What could
Mm.
be more boring than the phrase mindful eating?
Motivate. Mindful
Mindful
eating.
eating. What the fuck could be more boring? Excuse me. How
It's
many times has
true.
everybody heard that stupid phrase?
Yeah.
Do you know what
True.
I mean? Like if
Yeah.
I'm having an entire lesson on mindful eat, what's to even say about it?
Yeah. Right.
It's so stupid, you
So
know? But
what do you call it? What did you
well,
call it?
there has to be a super unique and innovative and exciting take on presence,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you can't put that forward, then you've got some generic something or other. And as a coach training school, now you're fighting another generic school and
Yeah. Yeah.
who can do it the cheapest,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Versus you take your unique point of view. It's so unique and so exciting and so elicits so much emotion in the lead. It's so different than any other option that
Mm-hmm.
they're like, I have to be here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. But that's a coaching school. If you're a coach, I think, and you're trying to get to your first six figures, I think you have things that you probably say and develop your phrases, your
Mm-hmm.
frameworks, your
Yeah.
things that are your points of view,
Yeah.
and to trust that your point of view contains like probably something innovative and probably
Mm-hmm.
something emotional. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what's going to elicit emotion in the person that you're in front of
Yeah.
and have them like they're going to have a great experience. It's not that AI can never elicit emotion. I've definitely like read certain things where I've been like touched and be like, I
Yeah.
can't believe I'm touched by what I say, but I was. So
Yeah.
it's not, but I just think that as the coach, you have to understand actually the things that make me human are the greatest gifts.
Mm-hmm.
My point of view is the greatest gift. You
Yeah.
may not consider yourself an artist, but if you have if you think about an issue in a particular way, that is art,
Yeah. Yeah.
actually.
And I love that you were talking about earlier, it's through our lens, right? Through our story, through
Right.
the life experience,
Right.
that is really relatable too, right?
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
I
We need
remember.
to hear people's stories. Like,
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We want, I mean, I want somebody to be fully transparent, a coach that I worked with or a mentor that I'm working with. Like, I want to know that they're human. I don't want to know that everything's perfect all the time. I want to hear their perspective. I want to hear, what it is through their life experience. And then I get to also take it through my life experience or through my lens or, the way that I think it's going to work for me. Take the parts that work for me, leave the parts that don't work for me based on whatever it is that I'm learning. But,
yeah,
I want to know that they're a real person. I want to know that they've got a perspective and have, thought about something for sure.
that's valuable. It's
Yeah,
valuable.
absolutely. Carrie, this has been so amazing. I really feel like I could talk to you for hours.
I know. I'm like, are we really done? Because there's so much
Like, oh
more.
my God, it's been like almost an hour. I'm like, I hope she doesn't have anywhere to go.
No, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
But this has been amazing. I really could. I definitely want to stay in your world. And I know you're not on social media right now, but I'm definitely going to be going to your website, getting on your newsletter, staying in
Yeah.
touch with what is going on with you. And everybody, click the link below. Go to careypeters.com. That's where you can find Carey. And this has just been such a pleasure.
Thank you. Yeah, you'll see there's a link. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram a bit, not really, but I will become present
In
there
there.
again and in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, on my website, you can just enter your name and email address and we can stay. I send insights like what is my point of view, for
Yeah.
example. on business trends, on scaling a business, on selling a business, on deciding which business to be in, on any
Yeah.
kind of trend or resource having to do with starting, scaling, selling a business. I share insights about. And also, I'm a mom. I have a 10-year-old, so I'll talk about that as well, being a
Wow.
mom and an entrepreneur.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we all need that. We all need that for sure. I know I do. I mean, even though my kids are grown now, I'm still a mom.
I was gonna say I don't think the job is ever over. I could be
Uh-uh.
that's what my friends tell me.
Yeah, I mean, they still come home from college.
Right.
And, or close by or still need, support for sure.
That's right.
Carrie, I just adore you. I'm such a
Thank,
fan. And
thank you for having me. I've totally enjoyed this conversation.
amazing. All right, everybody, go click on the link, click subscribe, share it with people that you think that, might enjoy this. And we will see you all next time. Thanks a bunch.